first new plays to open on Broadway since the shutdown will be Thoughts of a Colored Man. That show makes its debut this October. Paul Montour caught up with Keenan Scott II to talk about the play and more.
Keenan Scott II will make his Broadway debut this season with Thoughts of a Colored Man, his play which weaves together spoken word, slam poetry, and rhythm into a mosaic of the inner lives of Black men. We caught up about his unexpected journey to Broadway. How does it feel to know that your play is coming to Broadway? It's on a Broadway marquee. It's really happening. What are the emotions right now leading up to this moment?
Ooh, a little bit of everything. You know, this play has been a 15-year journey. I started writing it when I was still an undergrad, my sophomore year. So it's very overwhelming. And being a New Yorker and being from Queens, you know what Broadway is, right? I've walked the streets plenty of times. I've got off at Port Authority millions of times. But to have a marquee on Broadway, a few theaters up from Lion King, I couldn't fathom that.
Now, if you want to get attention on Broadway, a title, Thoughts of a Colored Man. I mean, you put that's an attention-getting title.
Yeah, so we had to shorten it actually. So the original title was Thoughts of a Colored Man on the Day When the Sun Set Too Early.
Talk about sort of the use of that phrase. Colored man is definitely something we don't hear often. So then to see it as a title of a play and as a celebration of these men.
Absolutely.
Why did you intentionally want to put that title on Broadway?
You know, I wanted a visceral response.
Yeah.
And historical context, we know that word at one point in time caused a visceral response. And this play is all about presenting stereotypes and turning those stereotypes on its head and showing that the Black man is multifaceted, that he's not a monolith. So like how we was labeled with being colored during those times, this show is about being labeled. So I wanted to use that word because I knew once you saw it, you would have a certain feeling about it.
And it also sounds like there's a lot of humor. There's a lot of drama. It really just feels like it's the whole range of emotions.
It's the full range of human emotion. And I know a lot of times when stories come from a Black lens, people usually expect to see or hear a certain type of story. And this is so not that, you know, just like anybody else, you will see love, you'll see joy, you'll see happiness, you'll see pain and sorrow as well, but you'll see that full range throughout this play. So hopefully people will laugh and they'll cry as well.
I read that you actually didn't grow up seeing that much theater. It sort of came to you a little later, right?
Later in life. My first introduction to the stage was through my poetry, doing, you know, spoken word competitions and things of that nature, open mics. But really, I grew up just a fan of film. I'm a huge Spike Lee fan, so he's very much so influenced how I approach my characters, because I felt his characters were so vibrant in his movies, and were characters that I could relate to, because as you know, most of Spike Lee's movies are based in New York, and I'm a big lover of hip hop, you know, big fan of music. So really that was my early inspiration as far as with storytelling, and I read a lot of poetry growing up, but I really didn't dive into theater until I went to college to study acting in undergrad.
What do you love about sort of what you can achieve in a play for theater audiences that's unique to it?
For me, at the core of all my work is empathy. And I think there's something about the live audience. You cannot replace it. TV and film is great, but when you're in an audience, you see actors, you can feel their presence and their energy, and the actors can feel the audience's energy. There's nothing better than that. And when theater is done right and is done in a true, authentic, unapologetic way, it can help build empathy in its viewers, because hopefully every play or show that you see, you should leave better than you came. And that's the goal of my work. So I think that is the power of theater when it's done at its greatest form.